I don't know how many of you have had your own puppy. I mean, not the one that your parents look after and you just go get to pet and tell it, "Aw, look how cute you are." I mean, have had your own puppy. One you pay for, buy its food, a new collar, an engraved dog tag, toys, give it baths, and don't get me started on house training. Do you know how much money I spent on puppy pee pads and paper towel? Anyways, November of 2018, I was stressed. Like the stress where you wake up and want to go directly back to sleep to avoid the dread and worries of your life kind of stress. To be honest, I'm always some kind of high level of stress. That's who I am. But at this time, life wasn't going the greatest. I was working a miserable job at a jewelry store, constantly anxious about what my angry boss was going to say to me next. I hated my job. On top of this, I was in my first semester of university after bridging from college, working to keep up my A average, and I have a boyfriend in Peterborough that I need to carve out a day of my week to go see to keep our relationship strong and healthy. But then, one day, I get into the back seat of my family's car, not even paying attention to what's going on because of the rumblings of worry in my head. And my dad goes, "Aren't you gonna look in the box?" I turn my head to the right, lean over to see what's inside, and see a tiny Rottweiler-looking puppy wrapped in a blanket wearing a pink collar. While I had seen this dog before, I never imagined that it would be in my car. Flash even further back to a couple weeks before, when I was at the local flea market with my boyfriend. I used to work there, and my boyfriend still has a booth there, so I'm there every few Saturdays, and one of the vendor's daughters is walking around with a puppy, showing it off. We sigh as she seems to have a revolving door of animals that she shows off for attention and then sells to someone else, usually another vendor. Nevertheless, we walk over to see the puppy. I look at her and instantly fall in love. I know I can't have the puppy as I have an older dog at home, and I didn't feel that it was best for him to have a young friend. I try to convince my boyfriend to take her so I can be her mother when I'm over to visit, but he's in the same predicament as I am, as he has an older dog too. I give her back to her owner after holding her and walk away. Flash forward to when I see the dog in my car. My parents tell me that the owner's father called them panicking, begging for them to come get the dog as his daughter couldn't take care of it anymore. My parents were hesitant, thinking about my older dog just as I was, but then he said, "Come get this dog, or else I'll take it to the lake and I'll drown it." My parents ran to the car to pick her up. So this is Stella, the first day she became mine. She's about 8 weeks old here, and I get her home, and while I can't argue that I've already fallen in love with her, her being there is making me even more stressed. I knew that it was a lot of work to take care of a puppy, and I'm 20 at this point. My parents are not going to do all the work for me, and I could just get to reap all the cuteness. Also, what am I supposed to do about my 11-year-old dog, Luke? He's my world, my little brother. How is he going to react? So, it was an adjustment, but Luke didn't seem to mind. But we kept them separated until they got used to each other, while Stella still sometimes has too much energy for him. I spent a lot of time and energy training her, playing with her, and especially teaching her how to use the washroom outside. That was a real blast. And while I was extremely stressed in the beginning, and honestly didn't know if I would be able to handle everything I had going on at the time, I couldn't ask for anything better than Stella. Stella Bear Fillatrau, yes, that is her name, is my stress reliever, which is ironic as she was the one giving me so much stress at the time. As someone who has generalized anxiety and social anxiety, Stella's always there to be my best friend and fun provider. She has a knack for making me smile, forcing me to take my mind off my worries by stuffing toys into my hand and making me play with her, or just by coming over to lay in my lap and watch a movie. I'm beyond grateful for her being faithfully dropped in my lap, and couldn't imagine my life without her. As I get older and I'm nearing my time to graduate and move out, I'm relieved to know that I'll always have a companion in life to go on new journeys with. Here's to Bear Bear.